Hey, something that's working. Wow. I've had electronics issues. Um, just being in happy color. And then wondered if this laptop could do a live. No title for this one today. Just so happy that this live could work and that I can be back on YouTube. Yeah, let me fix the chair. There we go. I wasn't expecting to go live. Okay, so let's see. There's been a lot of things going on. The one laptop monkey knocked over and broke the power cord for. The other laptop I had issues with, and we'll have to check and see if it works. But I was just checking with this one. I did what I've been doing as of late. Not a lot. Did create some bucket lists. Anyone, I know I haven't had a lot of luck with bucket lists. It's been a great idea to help shift focus, but it's also I'm very distracted. I'm just very, very distracted. So, yay for the HP. It's hanging in there. I've got a bunch of work to supposed to clean it out, and you have to have it plugged in all the time since the battery's not yay. Anyway, so new bucket list, kept it very, very simple. Just it's an end of summer one, just to shift things. And so it's got some really simple things like eat ice cream outside. Well, non-dairy ice cream outside. So I've done that, and I sat outside on the bench and watched the sunset, which was supposed to be tea and sunset, but yeah. So I've got one. Haven't read outside yet. Need to go for a long walk. It was just supposed to be the long walk. It was just supposed to be go for a walk. Basically, leave the electronics at home and resist the urge to take pictures. That's basically what it was. And so maybe later, being that it's a nice day today. I haven't had any sleep. Being it's August 26th. For some of you know what's been going on in my life. Hi, by the way, I'm Ray, and this is C is for Growth. Please like and subscribe. I am hoping to move forward with my life, and there's Bastion right there. Right there. Yeah, I can't. Whatever. I'll take what I can get. I have dyed my hair. That did make me feel a little better. But today is August 26th. And so on the lines of grief, so I may probably stick this in the grief, in the widow's journal, the widow journal. Being it's almost a year since my husband Kirk passed away. The significance, if my tongue will work, of August 26th is not only is today his birthday, and it would have been his 44th birthday, being that he was born in 1977, is that was also our anniversary. So the thumbnail for this video is from our wedding out on base. Fun fact, we actually, although our wedding license says Wainwright, we actually got, oh no, I forgot what the name of the place is. Base is a little town outside of Wainwright, and it has its own name, and for the life of me, I've forgotten what it was. But I was gonna make a video with some music, with some pictures to post on here to mark today, but not gonna happen. So instead, because it's not loading. Very old software in the HP. So in the Creighton family page on Facebook, I'll just be posting pictures. I think I've already changed a few, but anyway, so he passed away. This is our anniversary. This is the birth anniversary, what I was calling the birth anniversary, which he got when he realized the significance of it. He got a real good kick out of. He is the one that decided that we needed to get married on his birthday. This morning wasn't very good. Lots of tears and lots of upset, but I did what I always do, which is I went in YouTube and looked up music, and I posted some posts on Facebook and with the songs, some of the songs I was listening to. Let me try and get that window out. There we go. So yeah, today is just being a day, and I gave myself permission to have a pity party. Today is the one day of the year. I gave myself permission quite a while ago to have a pity party. I'm not looking forward to September 8th or September 11th either. Very hard days for me. But in the meantime, some joy stuff has happened. I came into that much money, and so I have been parlaying that. I have not the parts of the Caribbean parlaying, but I have been turning some of that into a trip to BC to go see family. My brother is flying out on Monday to come and stay with me for a little bit, and then we're gonna hopefully get that road trip. I won't say hopefully, we're gonna say we are. I know there's lots of stuff going on, but we're both vaccinated, but we're both fully vaccinated, and that is the number one reason why I got my vaccines, was because I have this idea that traveling would be nice, and at some point I'm going to be wanting to go see the world, and the world might not accept me without COVID vaccine, in much the same way as there are countries you can't get into them without your Hep A and B shots, and a Hep C shot, and flu shots, and malaria shots, and measles shots. There's all sorts of vaccines you gotta have to travel around the world. And I didn't want me not being vaccinated to stop me from traveling in my own country, never mind the rest of the world. It's been almost a year since I've seen my older brother. It's like 25 since I've seen my younger sister and her daughter, and I've never met her other daughter and her son. I am hoping to be able to make trips to take a ton of photos and make videos of that trip. It just could be a patience thing. But since this laptop seems to be okay for doing lives, we may be able to do something in that along that lines. Hello, Morgana. There, that's a Gana girl. Yeah. Yes, you're pretty. Mommy loves you. Yeah, Mommy loves you. So, can definitely get something going along the lines of lives, and I'm not sure. Let's see how well this is going to work. Whoops, not camera. Here, gallery. How well this is. Oh, we can do pictures. I can show pictures. There's Monkey from yesterday. Oops. Oh, not supposed to show that yet. There we go. There's Monkey from yesterday. The other is I took some pictures of a shower card. I sent my niece her virtual shower is Saturday, and I express posted her card. I'm hoping it gets there for Friday, so it can be there for the Saturday. Oh, Gana Garrow, I love you. It's almost your guys' birthday too. Yeah, in like a week and a bit is your birthday. And you guys will be a whole 2 years old. 2 years old? Yes, because you were born in 2019. And you'll be 2 years old. So yes, just wanting to move forward, but taking today to look backwards. Some happy stuff and some and allow myself to feel my emotions. I think all too often with everything's going on, we shut down. We don't take care of emotional business. We have to be strong for our spouses, our partners, our kids, our parents. But shit happens. Life isn't always happy. So one of the things about having the pity party this morning was that I'm able to get to this place, this happy moment. That's allergies, and that's because wind is blowing and neighbor had fire. So not a lot I can do about that. I closed the window that was open, and in the living room, the air filter is running on high to help clear the house out. But I am hoping to get the video from Canada Day put together. It's going to be a bit of a long one. I did a video the other day that I have to wait because I got to figure out the electronic things, which yay for Big Brothers because he's going to come and help me figure out what it is I actually do need for doing all this, and maybe some software so I can do some of that funky editing that some of the other YouTubers are doing. So yes, definitely, as we all know on here, anyway, who's following me, no brush the hair day. Heaven knows it never looks like it is anyway. Oh, and here's something for people to help their loved ones with, or when it comes to paying attention. The problem is now fixed. A friend of mine took me to our place where you get your driver's licenses and IDs done, and I renewed my ID on Monday. In the last roughly 2 years of using my ID, as proof as his wife, to get some stuff done, to get myself some social assistance, to help me till I got a little bit of money. I used my ID. But it expired June of 2019. So, okay, bad on my part. I'm usually on top of that stuff, and probably was around then, but with all his Kirk's dialysis, and then just the craziness that goes with dealing with dialysis, and then him passing away. Nowhere in 2 years did that ID get caught as not valid. Thank God I don't drive. So if you know someone who is, and you're close to, in your comfort, check their ID. Just check make sure all their ID is up to date, because they may not have gotten as lucky. They may not get as lucky as me, and have everybody just take it and use it. And for heaven's sakes, people who take IDs as proof of identification, do your job and check everything on it to make sure that it's legit. Because heaven knows, in the last 2 years, even if the welfare lady had turned around and told me, look, I'm going to take your ID as proof as who you are, because I've got all your other information and everything, but did you know your ID is expired? I would have, in October or whenever it was I applied of 2020, I would have renewed my ID. You want to know how I found out it was expired? Not because I was going through my wallet, looking at things, and I happened to see that on my ID. I tried to get to the trip to BC, and I tried to rent something on Airbnb, and they wouldn't take my ID because it was expired. So, it's been a very trying year. I would give anything to have my husband back and not have to go through what I've been going through. But I'll be glad when the first year is actually officially over. And for me, I am reminding myself that I went through some of my first, because I was in so much shock that I didn't come out to almost June. So a lot of my first don't really start till like June. So I'm reminding myself that things like, for me, the first day of fall is technically not the first day one without him. This won't be this will be the first road trip without him, like real road trip without him. And I was been up and down with that, but it won't be the first Thanksgiving without him. It won't be the first Christmas, first Remembrance Day, first Easter. Um, that I've already gone through it just because I was in shock and couldn't note it. That kind of thing. So, um, this is really cool that I know things are happening in BC and it's happening, but no burst in bubbles, people. No burst in bubbles. My brother or my sister or my niece will turn around and notify me if they get notification that the trip isn't going to work. Um, and so we're all good in that department. But I'm so looking forward to. I haven't been to where I'm going. Really, that a bit of a mystery at the moment. I haven't been to where I'm going in 27 years. I'm thinking is when the last time I was there. It was a ill-fated move. It didn't go there, so I'm looking forward to doing that. It'll be good to see everybody again. Um, uh, and of course, being respectful. We're not doing touristy stuff, you know, per se. Not a lot of money, and I'm looking forward to peace and quiet. I won't have any pussycats, so no mummying. So no yelling at them for like 9 days. It's going to take roughly 2 days drive to get there. I know we could fly, but oh my god, I haven't been on a road trip in forever, and there's happiness there. A happy memory about that was the first time Kirk took me ice fishing. I do believe it was. We went out to Arm Lake, and the further we got away from town, it's like 25 minutes, no more than half an hour to get where you can fish, where you fish in there. And the further, oh no, it was Schuster Lake, not Arm Lake, it was Schuster Lake. And he came, he watched me go from feeling like really kind of uptight to just mellowing out and almost going to sleep. There's something about being in a car that just absolutely can calm me down immensely. I have a friend who I've been associating with. I've been friends with for several years, and I've unfortunately just we're on Facebook now and not we don't talk a whole lot. Life is like that, but definitely could message her anytime I wanted to, and we would just talk a little bit anyway. But whenever I was upset, we would just borrow her boyfriend's truck at the time and go for a drive, and the two of us would do the music and vehicle and the open road. um, and that kind of thing. So yes, August 26th, 2017. Kirk Jill Creighton married moi. I guess I shouldn't be giving too much information, but yes, we got married on August 26th, 2017. He proposed to me December 4th, 2014. No, not a movie romantic moment, but one of the most romantic moments I've ever had. I I had been my brother unfortunately has moments where he kind of just disappears, and I was getting divorced from my first husband. Didn't realize I had it was going to be that cheap, where it had been done the year before. Now, when I had some money. Um, but anyways, I've been fussing about having a person to handle my affairs, my health affairs, if something should happen to me, and I couldn't speak for myself. And I just got really upset, and he was at work, and I was texting him, and I misunderstood him, so I ended up quit talking to him, and misunderstood what he meant by, we'll get a piece of paper. Okay, dance guys, when you're proposing, if you're going to do that, say what you mean. Just ask the girl. So anyways, next morning he came home from work. He woke me up. I'm sitting in my nightie, sitting on the edge of the bed, and I'm still really upset, and I'm starting to talk about it again. And that's when he said to me that what he meant by getting a piece of paper was that we'll get a piece of paper, marriage license. And he said that, we'll get a piece of paper. And I had been talking, and it went bingo. The light went off, and it went bingo. And and I looked at him, and I had been crying. And it was this, I think I may have asked him what. And he said, we'll get married. We'll get a piece of paper, and we'll get marriage license, and we'll get married, or something like that. It's those moments that you really wish somebody had been filming that. That was just the two of us in the bedroom. And I looked at him, and then I started to cry happy tears, and I gave him a big hug, because I'd been waiting for it, because I'd had a vision, a message. Sometimes my gifts aren't all obnoxious. This message that we were going to get married, almost from the beginning, back in 2014, before Christmas of 2014. I just knew the two of us were going to get married. So, we were going to be together, we were going to get married. And so that was a long 2 year years of him figuring things out and what he wanted and everything. Because the one thing he wanted when he got married was to not get divorced. His parents weren't divorced. Unfortunately, I never got to meet them, because they both passed away before him and I were dating. They were just hanging with each other until 2016. But yeah, he wanted marriage like his parents. They weren't divorced. His dad died a widower. But, so yeah, he got what he wanted. We never did get divorced. There's a lot of going on. Chronic illness is not easy. It's not. And when it starts to become terminal, that's just not easy either. So, but August 26th was, as most weddings go, very stressful. But was very awesome. I was looking at the pictures, our wedding pictures, and remembering things like our first dance. And you can barely see our wedding cake, because he didn't eat cake. And I had made other stuff for the guests to get there to have as desserts and things, and some of it never made it. Sorry, people. There was pound cake that never made it, and there was strawberry rhubarb crisp. It got kind of tucked over in the kitchen a little bit, and in the madness of trying to get everything up there, it got forgot. But the brownies made it, the very amazing, my always amazing chocolate brownies, fudge brownies made it. The Rice Krispie Critters made it. And everything else made it. But anyways, it was good. And so it was good. And I remember on that day standing up and telling everybody, telling him, just toasting him. It might have even been the second toast. I just stood up, a little bit of a lull, everybody was eating and that kind of thing, and just telling him how much I loved him and how much he meant to me, and thanking him for finally giving me a home, and I wasn't lonely anymore since he'd come into my life, and that I didn't marry him for his money, which I didn't. I married him for him, and let everybody know it on that moment, emphatically, that I married him for him and not for what he could give me. I would have married him even if we'd ended up in a cardboard box. Our wedding song was All for Love, the one from the Disney Three Musketeers. I now again have a love-hate relationship with Disney. Disney movies lie. Ours almost is much more like that Three Musketeers movies, where it's not a happy movie. It's they do have their happy ending, but the whole movie isn't completely happy. Lots of death in that movie. Really great fight scenes. Sorry, fight scenes, but a bunch of death in that movie. Yeah, All for Love. That was our wedding song. He chose that, and I agreed to it because all for everything I do for you. Almost made it, but wasn't quite right. We didn't want something that everybody else had chosen. I spent a lot of time choosing music for this wedding. And we were just listening, and that one popped up, and that one was, it just, while we're listening to Everything I Do for You, it's like, not that one, the other one. And I'm like, this one, and he says, yes, that one. And he picked out my wedding dress. He picked the hall. Oh, it's Denwood. That's what it is. The place where we actually got married was the chapel out in Denwood, and there was a Buffalo Park Hall or something, I think is what it was called. We were the second to last marriage, non-military marriage, to be held there. Our wedding was also the 150th birthday of Canada. The year, because Canada Day is July 1st. But we got in 2017, so it's the 150th birthday of Canada becoming a nation. So that's really special. Absolutely special. And yeah, so yeah, he picked our wedding song. He picked the hall. He picked what type of wedding we were, because I'd been married before. I didn't need to have the big wedding, but he wanted that kind of a thing, to have a wedding. Um, we pushed our wedding date forward because I had a icy cold feeling about his grandmother, and I'm glad we did, on two fronts now, that we chose such a quick time to get that wedding ready and to have that wedding. Because in 2018 his grandmother died, and in 2020 he died, and possibly would have been too sick. We weren't going to get married for another 2-3 years, so that would have been potentially 2018, 2019. Mind you, with him having renal failure and was on dialysis, I would have pushed this. I would have. There have been a lot of people that would have said, "How would you put it off till you get your kidney?" And I would have said, "No, we need to do this now." You know, Grandma wasn't here, but I did ask him when I had that feeling, and that was before Christmas of 2016. That you know about Grandma not being here for the wedding. And I asked him, how important it was to have her there. And he said, very, Grandma had to be there. and he, and I said, well, because we need to do this. I have a feeling. He mocked me sometimes a little bit about my feelings, but not a whole lot. He was with me. He was living in this place where other things happened. He was already sort of there with the paranormal and stuff anyways. And he had his own tarot cards before I even met him. Got several more after we got married. And there were other things that were going on with just the two of us, memories and things that we were sharing. And anyways, so yeah, dude basically orchestrated what the wedding should be, and I tried my damnedest to give him a garden for it. It didn't work. Well, a writer. The stage is the thing, the play is the thing. It's the backdrop. It says what your life is going to be and what this wedding is all about. That's what the decorations say. So that's why a lot of women specifically fuss when they're wanting their perfect wedding, and everybody's saying, "Oh, it'll be beautiful anyways." Yeah, it was, but when you're trying to, in some respects, getting married is like doing a movie. And movies are much better with the special effects, the background stuff, and the music. I've watched several things where you take all this stuff out and the story is there, but it's not quite what it is. And I had a vision. We were just disorganized, and I didn't know I was going into menopause. So, but it was a good day. Um, it was hot. The sun did shine on our wedding. I'm glad we did it out at Buffalo Park Hall. That's where the picture for the thumbnail is taken. And it just was good. Crown cat, right there. There's Cleo. That's the crown cat. There she is. So, I'm so glad this worked, because I think I needed that today. I think I needed to sit and have just me sharing happy memories, sharing memories about this. So, I do have a video regarding the truck because it has been purchased. I should be getting final payment soon. And it's going to allow me to do a bunch of other things. Because in the adventures, and I know some of you know about the adventures of the upstairs, I have some little holes in the roof. So this is not just a shingling thing. This is I gotta do a fix on it. So yay! But one of the best things, one of the best legacies that my husband could have left me was this house. And so it is good to fix it up because this is where we hang out. This is the Crone Cottage. I told Crone Cat that she never had to move again before he died. That, that I wasn't planning on it. It just stayed here. So, yeah. Wow. We're over 40 minutes. This is why YouTube's so good for me, because I can just sit and babble, say things, put the video on, and it's there. I have decided that I'm not worried about making money at YouTube. I would like it to be successful, and yes, I would like it to make me some money, but I've heard some things on and off about how much you get, what you need to do to have it going. And so, yes, I will be revamping C is for Crone. It will become the Crone Cottage. I've decided November 1st. I've got some more emotional stuff to get through, so I'm giving myself some space and some wiggle room to wrap some stuff up. I'm not sure how September is going to go because, that's the month he passed away in, and there's a lot of energy and things and memories I'm going to have to go through. The truck should be also leaving next month, so it won't be parked out there. Yeah. So my 50th year of life is not the most fantastic, but it is what it is, and it's a turning point of decisions about how things want to go. I want them to go, because I will say that the day I turned off his monitor was probably the day that I actually died. There was a piece of me that just no longer, just so much of me I realized does not exist. So as anyone who's been following me, uh, you've been watching me try to redefine who I am. And I have a therapy playlist that's open to the public, so you can see some of the stuff that I've been looking at to help me. There's some stuff on empathy. There's some good speeches in there. There's a few videos on Dark Night of the Soul that say similar thing. There's some pagan stuff. I need to finish watching the one by Alwyn. Alwyn Oakes. I can't remember right now what her name is, but she does a little sort of third-party video about where she's at it, and but it's how she does her daily list for what she needs to get done, where it goes from being, dusting, vacuuming, dishes, this kind of things, so where she includes in there where the chores are in there, but in between each of the chores is some sort of happy thing, something she finds happy, and to bust that up so that she's not zoning out on her phone. And that's one of the things that I've been finding, that as wonderful as YouTube is, it's kind of like a second home to me. I don't lie when I say I live on here. And as great as Netflix is, um, and the wonderful support I have on Facebook, is that I will get, because I'm tired and I've got brain fog from several different things. I will just sit and zone out on my phone, on my TV, and I'll just watch movie and show after, and on YouTube, video after video after video after video, and I'll look up and I'm like, I should get up and I should go do something. And this thing. And phone's the worst because it's the easiest, because it's right, you can pick it up and then, and you can scroll through Facebook. And yeah, on Facebook. And I was never, until I met Kirk, I was never one to be living on my electronics. That was not me. I actually looked down at people who did that and scolded him a couple of times. Like, get off your phone. Get off your phone. Go and play video games. Go and do something. Let's go do this. Get off your phone. But the only time he would genuinely get off his phone that made it hard to get a hold of him was when he was hunting and fishing. But the way she did her list and how her day went from about 10 things to like 6 things that she got done. And it just sort of ran like a penny dropped. The light went slightly on. I didn't have it was a quiet aha moment. That spoke of, because of how I can draw happiness into my life. Not happiness per se, but mellowness, regularity, because I don't have a schedule anymore. Everything used to be about him, his diabetes, and dialysis, all his doctor's appointments. My doctor even messed up. He became Kirk's doctor, and I would go in for my appointments, and sometimes even before I got to talk about me, he was asking Kirk how he was doing, and then that's all they were talking about, was how tough life was for him and everything. I will be talking about things that need to happen for caregivers, because I won't speak for other people, but I kind of have seen it. When it comes to caregiving, you stop thinking about you, and you can have everybody in the world tell you take care of yourself, but your primary goal is to make sure your loved one or loved ones are taken care of, and so sometimes you do it poorly. There's no real right or wrong, but I have discovered that there were things that I thought I was doing to take care of myself, but that actually robbed me of time spent with my husband, created problems in the future after he died, and I didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish anyways in taking that time for me. And that kind of thing. So seeing her video yesterday was kind of like, I've been praying for signs and things, and I have been getting some, but that one was, I'm really good at it, reading signs some days. I missed some things, but other things, I'm really good at signs. And that popped up, and it was just saying exactly what I had been searching for, was a better new schedule for my life now that it's just me, you know, so that I keep doing, I quit doing what I do, like, haven't thought about it to right this minute, but today was dialysis. It's Thursday. It's dialysis day. I don't want to be stuck forever in the rest of my life in a, this is dialysis day. This would have been dialysis day, or some version of that thing, because it's no longer dialysis. There is no more dialysis. That ended September 11th, 2020. They took him off dialysis that day when I took him off the ventilator, when I told them to go ahead and just turn everything off. But so it was good, and that was happy. Unfortunately, somebody came over and that got interrupted. So I need to get back into that video. And yeah, I did dye my hair the other day, and I'm happy with it. It's not that it was making me feel old. I just didn't like the fading out and the gray, white, whatever it's doing. If it's going to go white, I just wish it would go, because that would be nice. And I do have some pictures of yard outside, and there might even be some video. I'll have to go through things. I'm just grief kind of sides track stuff, and then I got stuff trapped in places, and yeah. So anyways, there is some pictures. I took a whole bunch of pictures from me of truck, because it wasn't just Kirk's truck, it was my truck, and it is my truck. There's no will stating that I am the inheritor, but I know that I made the right decision in the sale of the truck to his nephew, because that's where it should have gone. And, you know, to somebody, that the truck would be very meaningful for. It's not just a vehicle to get them around to do stuff. It's a hunting truck. It's a fishing truck. It's a road trip truck. It's a doing work stuff in truck. You know, F-250, four-wheel drive. So it's a hauling truck, that kind of thing. And his nephew does all that stuff. So for me, it wasn't about the money. I unfortunately needed money. And absolutely loving that nephew stepped up and said, I want the truck. So we're coming up an hour. And so, yeah, channel name will be changing November 1st. And depending on how I feel, I might change it a little sooner, and that means the Facebook page will also be changing. I'm hoping to have a different style to the channel, being that it's Crone Cottage. For those that you don't know, C is for Crone, like C is for Cookie. And that's good enough for me. If you're ever wondering where that came from. 5 happy things, because I'm not bound by video-ness. 5 happy things. I'm actually glad it's the sunshine today. This morning I wasn't, but now I'm actually glad the sun is shining. I'm grateful for the sunshine coming in the dose and not a mushroom. I don't need the dark all the time anyway. I'm grateful for the the Fantastic Fur Babies, the Fantastic Five, and the Fishtastic one. I am grateful for the wisdom that I have been gaining throughout my life, to be able to know myself, to be able to stop and breathe. Because the other thing I've been asking for is to be able to breathe. So I'm trying to recognize those moments where I breathe, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that there are companies out there making non-dairy ice cream bars. Magnum and Dairy Queen. Just plain vanilla. The Magnum's got one with almonds on the outside, but keeping it simple, keeping it real. And as always, I'm grateful for my subscribers who take the time out to even just go and see what it is I'm doing. Absolutely grateful to have you here. So my goal is to create better content. Grief has touched everything. It's a smear. It's the lenses. Grief and menopause and pain are the goggles through which I live my life through. So I do ask that you be patient. My videos will reflect this, but maybe that's one of the things that'll make the content not just stuff I've thrown together. And that kind of thing. So I'm very grateful for all of you being out there, and to YouTube for being there to give me a forum that actually works for who I am and what I want to say out, be out there. That's sort of the monster thing. Zombie widow. 5 things that make me happy, of course, are the fur babies, roof over my head, the sunshine, no borrowed smoke from another province on both sides. Happy that the neighbor will have this fire and then it'll be done and I will get better. Happy for discovering which foods are my glorious foods. And I'm going to try and remember to do, even if it has to be live, do a video on my glorious list, because I have decided in my infinite wisdom that the way to live life is to sort of Marie Kondo your life in every direction, not just cleaning your house up. She was on Netflix for a little bit, but I'm sure if you look on YouTube, somebody has posted about sparking your joy. I know there's been people who have commented about how it hasn't worked for them, how it has worked for them. So yes, if you look up Marie Kondo, you can probably find stuff with her. But I have totally, I'm taking it into my spiritual life, my mental life, my emotional life, my physical life. And just on a main level, on my physical life, is no more eating foods unless they spark glorious feelings, gloriousness in 2 of 3 levels: the mind, the body, or the spirit. And if it doesn't get 2 out of 3, I don't want to eat it anymore. Or not all the time. I want it out of my diet and only have it on occasion, because there are days that potatoes and tomatoes and other nightshade vegetables are supposed to be really bad for your Raynaud's syndrome, which is one of my arthritises. And so I would like to take that out. I have not noticed that they've been creating a problem, but they could be creating a sub-problem that I'm not noticing. So I want to get get that out of my diet so that I'm not causing extra problems. Because it's not glorious when you eat food and it gives you diarrhea, it upsets your stomach, yay IBS, leaves you gassy and bloated, makes you depressed, uh, and just generally feeling awful. So if it doesn't click the two, not my diet anymore. Now, having said that, where I was going before was there's days where potato and gravy with roast or chicken, turkey. Oh my God, it's in a complete meal. So I've been breaking things down into simple and then writing down beside them some of the stuff that goes with. And so I'm focusing on that. And then I'll go back to my one journal where I was writing all the things that brought me comfort and that kind of thing. So that's a happiness. That's a looking forward is happiness. And so now I've lost count of what it was, potentially 2, 3. And so that brings me to being proud of myself because I stayed calm enough to see if this would work. Oh my God, the other day when things weren't going right with electronic, yeah, no, my brother fielded that one. He caught that one. It was a bad day. And I'm proud of myself that I can laugh at myself about my bad days. I am not putting myself down or anything. There is the right kind of mocking yourself that keeps you humble, that keeps things real. You know, like everybody talks about living in the real world. Well, first off, you have to define what that is. Because for one person working all the time to have all that money and the lifestyle, that's a real world. But for another person having absolutely nothing and living in a cardboard box, and if you talk to them and they're happy and they're enjoying what they do, that's a real world. If they're not happy living in the cardboard box, well, potentially that's a fantasy. And then there's the other people who cosplay their entire life. And cosplay is, for those that don't know, is dressing up like your favorite characters, your favorite creatures, your favorite lifestyles. Some people are fairies, other people dress up as video game characters, movie characters. And then some people they take that one step further and they marry it into their life. And these people should not be put down because that's reality for them. And as a daydreamer and living in other people's realities for 50 years, going on 50, you know, it's going to take some time to straighten mine out. Um, almost 51 years I will have been living somebody else's idea of me, but trying to squish me in there and not accomplishing things exactly the way I wanted, because law of attraction does work, but when you're only half-assing it, you only get half an ass. So proud of myself to be able to actually see that and see the opportunity I've been given. I want him back, and I would trade all the money in the world to have him back. But he will not be coming back. That's the reality. But in that reality is I have this entire house to myself. And I've talked about that before in other videos in the real journals about the loveliness of not having someone to tell me no. So I have been looking at things like fairy core and cottage core, and found out there is fairy grunge core. And what the cores are is just defining things down into ideas of styles. So it's a thing where people have been on TikTok and on YouTube defining um, things, and it's called core. So there's fairy core, and there's dark academia, and light academia, and witch core, and goblin core, and I'm sure there's biker core and teacher core. So I have named my change, and that playlist, I don't know if it shows up, but I have it as private because I got all sorts. That's me defining me, and it's all about me. But I'm going to share that with everybody here as I build the crone cottage in my image. It will always be Grandma's house. Always. It will always be his grandma's house. This will always be the house that his mom grew up in. But this is the house he got engaged in. This is the house that he fell in love enough to get engaged. This is the house that he got ready for his wedding in. This is the house that he started his honeymoon in. This is also the house that, for all intents and purposes, for me, he died in. So it then becomes my house to do with as I please. Not so I can erase stuff, but to bring him back, because we never hung any pictures of our wedding up. There was one picture we had. There was no honeymoon pictures hanging up. We really didn't have friends or family. Some new furniture things got taken down, but never back up. So our life together was not pictorially shown in the house in any way, shape, or form. The clutter monster moved in, and just that was it. Actually, the clutter monster moved in with when he brought a previous girlfriend who became a roommate. It moved in, and then the clutter monster and I duked it out, and there were some battles. Clutter monster, or I should say monsters. The case may be. The case is. They duked it out. We've been duking it out. But I think the more I define myself and how I want to be living, the more I'll be able to win that war. And I'm proud of myself for being able to see that. So, always, 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 my lovelies, my subscribers, my YouTube peeps, take time out of your day to really define if you are where you want to be. And don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to redefine yourself and have everything change. It might be uncomfortable, but potentially it's for the better. I have no choice. This change was not something that I asked for. So rather than fight it, it has been an interesting year, but I am going fight live it. More of a stop. But I haven't been fighting it. I have been looking for ways to look forward for an entire year. And so yes, take time to assess. It's never wrong to assess how you are feeling that day and whether or not you are actually apt to go in doing anything. Maybe today is the day you go out to the cemetery where you've been avoiding it because it's meaningful for you to go do so. Not so much for me. I have an opportunity to go today, but it's not my thing. Halloween. I have plans for Halloween. Similar to ones last year, involved alcohol and sparklers. It was a good day. But anyways, if you're not going to stand up for yourself, who is going to do it? And sometimes we have to fight a lot to get heard, to get seen, but go do it. If you have to create a YouTube channel so you can be heard and seen, then go do it. Just go do it and let it develop into what it's supposed to be. Just follow the guidelines and you'll be okay. I think I had one video briefly have an issue because I didn't realize I didn't have the music down low enough in the background, and it showed up in my video. And then be grateful for what you got. Like the whole thing has changed with me being grateful. Like I only have 55 subscribers, and that's not a lot. That won't make you any money. I don't even know if like half of them, 3/4 of them are even watching videos, especially ones that come up for like an hour and 11 minutes. Because I've been babbling along the way. But sometimes you just can't live in a TikTok world. Sometimes you cannot say what you need to say in 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. You can barely say I love you in 5 seconds. And in trusting my instincts, I know I'm right to be here because I've got important things to say. And the word will, if it's supposed to, it will get out. It will go and do. Like me finding my videos, those people's looking for something different will find mine. I found those videos. I found that video yesterday. I was just wandering YouTube, and I had subscribed to her already. Yeah, and same with the stuff on Dark Night of the Soul. I went looking for that, but if somebody out there hadn't decided to post videos on Dark Night of the Soul, there would have been none there. So, don't stop searching. Just because your life feels like there's no hope in it, there is always hope. Since he died, I have spent almost every day, wanting to die and not be here. I hate it. Like I said, he died, I died. He just took so much with me. So I'm proud of myself that no matter what, I can always find hope in something. You just gotta give me my boo-hoo moments, and then I have a tendency to get over myself. So anyway, so I'm proud of that. So I've had lots of babble. I'm surviving. I'm getting through one of the hardest days of my entire life. Happy birthday, Kirk. Happy birthday, Bruce. I love you so much. Always and forever. All for one and all for love. Peace, love, and happiness, everybody. And I will talk with you later. Have a glorious upcoming weekend. And a nice ending of summer going into fall. September 21st, first day of fall, or September 26th, depending on what. 22nd, pardon me. It's either the 21st or the 22nd, depending on what site you look at. I've seen it for both. Anyways, bye for now.